Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Firewire Show. Do not go anywhere, because in this week's episode we're going to be basically doing a versus video, a Canon M50 or mirrorless camera versus the Google Pixel or phones in general. So do not go anywhere for today's absolute value, just before you check out our merch. If you would like to help our brand and support the channel, why not check out our merch? We've got t-shirts, we've got mugs, and from time to time we add to the list. So go check it out, link in the description. And also, if you want to support the channel, like and subscribe this video. Alright, so you basically came here to find out what is truly better. It's a question that many filmmakers, creators and YouTubers and bloggers are always constantly asking, and it is a very good point. Now, before we go anywhere, the short version is the best camera you have is the camera that you have right now. Just remember to write that down, because that is so true. But basically, in this week's episode, we're going to look at the differences between a phone and a camera that might seem obvious, but you might be surprised. So basically, what is the difference then? For most of you, you will know what you could do with your phone. You can do amazing stuff with your phone. If you're doing a YouTube shorts, it's great to have it sort of vertical like this. If you're doing good shots, it's a good way. And quite often the sort of back-facing camera, if you will, is usually the best camera on most phones, and this is the one I'd recommend if you're doing, you know, a video for YouTube, or you're making a short film, or and just bear in mind that more and more people nowadays are using their phones to make videos for YouTube or just videos in general, because the video quality on all phones is absolutely brilliant nowadays. It's incredible what videos and photos you could take with your phone, and this goes for any phone that's, you know, any newer than say 4 or 5 years old. They take absolutely brilliant. And what's really cool actually about your phone is on the settings, this one's off the minute, but on the settings, some of you may know you could change around with the ISO, the shutter speed you have, and some cameras now have multiple lenses for different reasons, for doing panoramic shots or film mode and stuff like that. And some really cool features I've seen on some of the later phones, especially things like the Google and the Apples and the later Samsungs, is you get like slow motion mode where you can make it look like a film and stuff like that, which is really sort of cool stuff you can do. And there's loads of editing apps you can download, put on your phone. So your phone, for literally all creators, is your best friend, and it's amazing what you could do with your phone. One little thing I'd recommend, actually, I don't know if you can see it, you can see the shadow of it, hang on, is get yourself a tripod with a, hang on, with, I don't know if you can see it, let's just point at it normally. If you could just see the tripod there, sorry, I don't know if you can hear me. If you could just see the tripod there with the phone sort of mount on top, that's a brilliant and will be your second best friend after your phone as a creator or filmmaker. I highly recommend getting yourself a tripod with a phone mount. So once you've done that, you can attach your phone on the top of it. You can film yourself. I use it quite often for doing my YouTube shorts, and you can usually tell because when I'm not using it, the phone's getting all shaky, baby. And, and if it, you know, if I am using it, it's much stiller. And what's really cool about that, one little cool little power tip actually is, for camera or phone, if you've got it connected to a tripod, you can actually just pick it up, put it into short mode, and then just sort of walk with it. So you can do like Pam shots, and I don't know, you can hold, if you got one like that, it actually pops off like a selfie stick and you can walk with it, and it just, you know, keeps the shot more still. And that's a really cool thing you can do with your phone or your camera, really. But that's a sort of something really cool. But what's really cool with this is they have lots of cool features, and that's what makes a phone so handy. And literally, you know, I would quite happily say, what, 98% of us have a phone, if not most of us now, apart from the very small amount that are either against it or just don't like technology. So, you know, it's not like you have to buy anything, and that's the advantage of a phone, isn't it? You know, you don't have to buy it because most of us have a phone on contract or whatever. And it's just really cool. So why do I like this phone? Well, this particular phone, the Google Pixel, is a very good phone. It takes very good photos and videos, has some really cool little features, a really nice sharp screen. Why would I recommend this phone? Well, I like this phone. It's really cool. It's awesome. Mainly, I was very impressed with the picture quality, and this is something you'll find with your phones as well. The picture quality is absolutely brilliant with your phone, and this is why. And the main advantage I personally would say with a phone is the fact that it's basically off you go. Another thing you can do with your phone actually is you can actually get a sort of I believe it's called like a phone cage, and you can connect it around it on top of a tripod, and you can attach a light, maybe get an external microphone, make sure you got the right adapter. I have found on Apple's and Google Pixels, you have to get like an adapter for the microphone, where on Samsung's, unless they've changed it, you can just put your microphone straight into the jack. That's something to bear in mind. So maybe a slight disadvantage, but it's not the end of the world. And then once you connect to that, you can then get a clip-on mic, an external shotgun mic, and that just adds again to the audio quality. Though saying that, for indoor filming and outdoor filming, internal microphones on a Google Pixel and a lot of phones nowadays is pretty good. And they have different features and things you can edit with, but just for easiness and for just making your editing life easier down the road, I would highly recommend external microphone. So go over to the camera then, and this is basically highlighting the M50. Those of you that are in the know, watch my weekly content, you know that I love the Canon M50 and its younger brother, the Mark II. And the advantage of this then, for me personally, I love the M50 because, ow, as I just punched myself in the face. That's the purple lip tomorrow. Wow. What I love about this then is the fact it has interchangeable lenses. It already has a ready built internal microphone which you can connect, just like on your phone, I guess. Let's not break it, Dave. It has a turn flip screen which you can see. I don't know if it turns on. I don't know if it's got battery or not. Turn on it. Yeah, there you go. You can see it. If we press play. There we go. Look, that's the photo that was on it. That's one for a thumbnail. And what I love, my history, for those of you that don't know, I'm Dave from TVR Creators. If you're getting value from this video so far, don't forget to smash the like button, consider subscribing if you haven't done already, because you guys rock. And I've been, just to give you a bit of background, I've been filming now for over 15 years, let's just say that. And I come from a background, just so you know really, where I used to use point and shoot cameras like this and older. I've got even older ones up there back in the days of DV tapes, but I won't get into that today. But basically, just to give you a bit of background, I come from a background where I like things to be as efficient and as easy to use as possible, because in a nice possible way, that's why phones are so good. I don't want to spend 50 years in a nice possible way setting up my shot for the photo. I just want to boom, turn it on, get the angle I like, get the lighting ready. And nowadays, I must admit, I do spend much more time on making sure the microphone's in the right place and the lights in the right angle and all this jazz. But what I used to love back in the day, just put the camera on shot, go, yep, I like that shot, press record, do the shot, done. That's just how I like to make my films, because I do have films on this channel as well. I've got links to cameras and gear that you might find interesting in the links below. The reason I'm sharing this bit of info with you is this is why I love the M50, because you can play around with the shutter speed and the ISO and all the different features you can do with the lens. You can change the lenses down the road. You can get an adapter for an old lens. But why I really love the M50 and mirrorless cameras in the whole is they're easy to use. You can technically just point and shoot. You can, again, just get the right shot, press record, off you go. And also, I like something separate from my phone. I don't know about you, but for those of you like content creators and YouTubers and those of you that may be doing this for a while, you may agree that, I don't know if it's my generation or just you feel like you're going to the next level, but there's something nice about having a piece of equipment or gear that is separate from your phone. You haven't got the distractions of, like social popping up every 2 seconds and, getting a WhatsApp of your family and friends, which, is awesome. But what's really nice, you can just do this. You haven't got that distraction. You put your phone on mute like I have today, and you just press record and off you go. And just like the point and shoot cameras, these are really good cameras actually, if you want one of these for taking like family videos and stuff. But what I love about these sort of cameras is you can just point and shoot. You just press record, off you go, and it's just really nifty. You just go bam, done, bam, and that's why I like it. But obviously you can play around with all the settings. It does have auto, it has manual. Like I say, you can make it purposely film in black and white. It does record in HD, 4K, 24 to 60 frames per second. You can do slow-mo, I believe, in 120 frames per second, but that's only in HD. It does have a slight crop that can be adjusted with a more expensive lens. But what I do like the kit lens on this, because it does have, you know, 15-45, which is brilliant. I use the 15mm for doing, you know, if I'm doing my YouTube videos, if I'm taking wide angle shots, if I'm having a day out doing photography with family and friends. And obviously you've got the 24-28, you know, you've got nice range. If you want to zoom in a bit, it goes up to 45, though I'll be honest, I very rarely use that. But it's just a very nice kit lens that you can get with this camera, and it does come mostly with this camera. And what's really cool actually, if you've got like a cheaper version, like I would say the M200, but the M200 is actually much cheaper. But if you do go back to say the M100, which is another camera that I talk about a lot on the channel, it has the same kit lens and probably takes just as good photos. You can get one of them for like 200 quid or something, where these are about sort of 500. But if you want the extra features, you want it to feel like a proper camera, you want the external microphone, especially if you're recording outside, or you just want to improve your audio, because half your video is audio, just like I'm using now. I'm using the I can never say it, the Zoom H1N dictaphone, very good microphone, as you can hear from the audio. I use this for my live streams mainly now, and I've been using this for quite a while. But that's something to think about. And again, you can connect it to a tripod, you could fit it on top. Tripod becomes like your best friend as a filmmaker, becomes your cameraman, if you will. If you get one with a selfie stick or not, it doesn't matter. You can put it into sort of short mode, as you like to call it, and you can walk around with it while you do, hey everybody, and all this sort of jazz. And that sort of things you want to think about with a camera. So ultimately, they are the sort of the main differences. You know, the camera, so the advantages with a phone, you've got one already, doesn't cost anything because you've got it apart from your contract, etc. It takes fantastic photos, video, and it's, you know, more and more creators are just using their phones. There's some massive creators out there that have built channels on their phones, which is very impressive. And especially for people, I'll be brutally honest, who are probably under 30 or maybe under 25, you know, your phone is probably all you want anyway, just because, you know, everything's on there. You probably know more about phones than I probably do. Do you know what I mean? So it's sort of like, it's just an easy learn, you know, there's not much to learn. But, you know, if you want to take your filmmaking to the next level and you want those extra features, you want to feel a bit more professional, you want those interchangeable lenses, you want to feel like a filmmaker, then personally, getting something like the M50 is an absolutely brilliant way to go, and something I would highly recommend. So if you've got any questions of the day then, do you use your phone or a camera? Let us know in the comments below. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. I'm Dave from TVR Creators, and I make weekly content on cameras, the best filmmaking stuff, and some new videos are on the way. Welcome. I hope you enjoyed the Firewire Show this week, and it has given you absolute value. I'm just going to show you our merch once again, but thank you so much for watching. You guys rock, and see you in the next episode. Oh, and just one more thing, at the end of the video I will leave 2 links to 2 of the videos that you may find interesting, as well as the pop-up cards throughout the video that may give you even more value. So on that note, I'm Dave from TVR Creators, and you, my friends, all rock. If you would like to help our brand and support the channel, why not check out our merch? We've got t-shirts, we've got mugs, and from time to time we add to the list. So go check it out, link in the description. And also, if you want to support the channel, like and subscribe this video.